Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Kron here from Skronco, of course. Where else, apart from the Chronicle Gamer and many other channels I've actually been part of. But that's not the point of this video. Let's play this game. This is a new game. This is the Beginner's Guide. It's from the creators of the Stanley Parable, which is one of my, I'm gonna say top 10. It's one of my top 10 all-time favorite games. I don't know, I just really enjoy it. So let's just get right in, shall we? I have no idea what this game is about. Make sure audio is on. Perfect. It is on. You guys can hear it, I know that. And I can hear it. WASD and mouse click. Like every other normal PC game, apart from the ones that don't use it.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda.
Coda.
Now these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here.
Let's see if we can glitch out the map.
So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again.
Okay, Coda,
and if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Wow. Oh, okay. Bit bright. What's this? Whisper machine says. Oh, I have a gun. No noise. Got a gun. It's fine.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Let's not go that way. Fire, dangerous, and whatnot. Where else? What? Am I supposed to be killing things? Oh, this does have sound effects. Okay. Making sure.
Security call reached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
Hello. Life forms.
It kind of looks like this game was abandoned mid-development.
Yeah.
For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere. But then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
Okay.
But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are. rather than for what they're not.
Ooh,
Enemy force neutralized. Begin to shoot it up.
good timing to open.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
I love that too. Which way do I go? Not that way, apparently. Ooh, this way. Ooh, right. This is a maze. I don't like mazes.
Apparently,
the
this space station has a labyrinth on it.
Labyrinth. Same thing, right?
Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Damn it. I'm gonna go back in.
Or, if you'd really like to solve the labyrinth, you're welcome to do that too.
No, it's too late now.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Oh, look.
Hey,
The engine
you there,
room.
in the engine room. You could save us all.
I could try.
That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam.
Well, now that is
It's so
suicide.
much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Yeah, why not? It's a game after all. Oh, I died.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying,
Is a 90-degree
is
turn.
probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level.
Not what I was thinking.
But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And
Okay.
this is what happens instead.
Okay, let's try this one again. Oh. Oh. It was close to completing a labyrinth.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it, like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he
Pretty
stops
basic,
work
to be
on
fair.
this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Oh, dear lord. Okay, so bricks, floor, ceiling. The past was behind her. That's cute. Oh, okay.
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
Well. Okay, goodbye. I get it. I so totally get this. If you can hear it, the music.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment
Music
combining
does
motion
sound
and
fun.
narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
When she stops. See, it seems like the music is going backwards. So kind of get that the future is always behind her. How will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which
Coda
to me
seems-
is why it works, because
seems
it gets
fancy.
out quick. Okay, next one.
November 2008 was that? Couldn't tell. My computer loaded it fast enough. Too fast. First world problems. You are now entering. Entering what? May I ask? Hell? Heaven? Kyle's bedroom?
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting. Oftentimes, Coda would put
great.
bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Oh. Oh.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
I don't know. Not gonna do much really. I'm just gonna sit here and keep playing. Oh, okay, it's getting slower. No.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens.
Is this it?
So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Okay. I did that. Bitch, you're crying, talking to people. What the fuck? What the hell? I'm a gate. I am a gate. A button you press to start chaos, that doesn't work. Press U to surrender. I don't want to press.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
For 3 hours. Staying. You must undress and rally a group of eager. What? A stranger appears. Okay.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or
U.
distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that.
You are trying to eat the shark.
It can be a very slow climb to
like that. I'm always hungry for sharks. You run a shop inside your own body, selling your organs strategically to make the most money before you die. Hello. January 2009. Ready, set, fish. Meow. Ooh. This looks like a nice fishing neighborhood. I'm glad I brought my wife and 2 kids to live here. Come on in, Jimmy, let's go for a fish.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle.
Ooh,
go ahead and see if you can solve it.
I can. It's a puzzle. I can't solve it. It's a puzzle. Wait. Did I just trap myself? Oh. Ah.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Okay, that was good. It's a good puzzle right there. Do I just see the same puzzle, do I? Okay.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough.
Simple enough.
Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
I'm glad you're modifying the game for me. Oh my dear lord. There's a lot more to it.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior, and then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand,
I'm not talking much, but this is interesting, this is why. Oh, 2009. This again? Am I entering Carl's bedroom again? Oh, I'm exiting Carl's bedroom.
Aha! So,
sorry,
this,
Kyle,
combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
For the ending of this. Like, I'm actually getting legit scared. I don't think it's gonna be like a jump scare or horror thing. I feel like I'm gonna have to rethink my whole life. Because that's what Stanley Parable made me do. Legit made me rethink everything. How scary is that, right? Anyway, I think I'm gonna end this episode here. Come back next to press. I can't do that. Okay, I may not be talking much during this series because there's actually quite a lot to think about, and it's kind of interesting just to listen to this guy. I may start talking in later episodes, but I don't know. I'm sorry. I may sound quiet. It's late. I'm sorry again. But this is fun, and I like it. I'm getting scared. I'm gonna my life's going to change after this. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Good night, goodbye, good morning. Bye.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do.
I knew that.
So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game
Did not know
development.
that.